Here we have the next packet tracer activity. Here we will do the navigation of the iOS using a terminal client for console connectivity in the physical mode. So you can see we have a rack here and cable pack board having different cables, table, and on the other side shelf having all the backup equipments. So the objective is to access the Cisco switch through the serial console port and display and configure basic device settings. Then access a Cisco router using a mini USB console cable. Let's start with our part 1. So here if you can see we have various models of Cisco routers and switches. They are used in all types of networks. These devices are managed using a local console connection or a remote connection. So nearly all Cisco devices have a serial console port to which you can connect. Newer models also have USB console ports. Let's start with the installation and investigation of a 2960 switch. So here this is our 2960 switch. If you can zoom in, so here this is one 2960 switch. So we will drag it and we will put it in our rack. Okay, so now there is one switch that we have installed. We have click and drag it. So in the packet tracer, most devices that you drag to the rack or the table, they automatically connected to power. Some devices that you turn on the power, you need to they require the turn on. But this 2960 switch will powers up as soon as you will move it to the rack. Now we will right click on this switch and we will select the inspect front. So here if you can do the inspection, you can see here we have 12 plus 12, 24 ports to connect users and devices. So these are all fast Ethernet ports. And then we have here 2 ports, those are gigabit Ethernet ports that are used to connect to the switch to other switches or routers. So total they are 26 ports. So now we will just close it. This inspect front view has closed. Now we will do the rest other inspection for the rear view. So inspect rear. Here if you can notice we have, so we need to just zoom in and we can see that we have here console port for connecting a rollover cable to the PC. So in the physical mode you can see easily that this is the console port that will be connect to the PC through the rollover cable, so console cable. Let's just close it. Now after the installation and exploring this switch, we will move towards our PC. Now you can see we will install and investigate the PC. So here we have the PC. We will click it and drag it to the table. So this is our table where we will install this PC. Now we need to inspect it. So we will right click on the PC and we will select the inspect front. So here if you can see this button is off. So as we just mentioned before that 2960 switch powers up as soon as you move it to the rack, but some devices don't power on, so we need to click this red power button to turn on this PC. So now you can see the green light here on the front of the PC. Now if you see on the bottom of the PC, we have fast Ethernet interface. We have, this is a fast Ethernet interface. Here we have the RS-232 port for connecting the rollover cable, and we have also 2 USB ports that can also be used for console access. Now the next step, we will just close it, and next step is to make the connection between the switch and the PC using the rollover console cable. So from the cable pack board, we will click on the blue rollover console cable and we will bring it over the PC. We will click this RS-232 port. Now it is green. Now you can see we will attach it with the other end of the console cable to the console port of the to the switch. So once we have done this, we have click on the console port to connect the rollover console cable. Now next step is to connect it to the switch. If you remember that the console port was on the rear side, so we will inspect the rear portion, and here we will connect this other end with the console port of the switch. Now if you can see, there is a cable connection between the switch and the PC. Next step is to configure the packet tracer terminal program. As I talked about the TerraCharm, that is the emulation terminal program. So here we have the packet tracer terminal program. For that we will use it to establish the console session with the switch. So here it is specially created for the packet tracer, this terminal emulation program. We will select it from by clicking on the PC desktop tab, and this is our terminal emulation program. This program will allow you to access the terminal output of the switch. It will also allow you to configure the switch. Now you can see those messages the same as we have seen in our previous packet tracer activity. So now when we will enter, we will see this execution mode prompt. Now we can display and configure some basic device settings. If you will write here show version, it will show you the version of the switch. So what is the iOS image and version is currently in use by the switch, you can see the model number, model version number, power supply part number, so some such information you can see here. You can also system serial number, a lot of informations are there. So just by clicking, so here if you can see, there are 26 ports. This is the model, and this is the image LAN base M of the Cisco C2960 switch iOS. Okay, the same command we can use here, show clock, to see the clock settings of the switch. So here we have some output for this command. We can also configure the clock settings as we have done in the previous activity. So you can use the clock set command with the question mark. One by one it will give you more commands, part of the commands one by one, and you can just do the setting completely. Okay, so this is all about this. So next what we can do, we can also close this window, and we can also install and investigate a 4321 router. So here we have some routers in the shelf. So next step is to access a Cisco router using a mini USB console cable. So here this is our router 4321. So what we will do, we will drag it like we did the drag before, and we will install it in our rack. Okay, again right click on the router and inspect front. So you will see there is a power switch on the left. Click it to turn on the router. Okay, so it is now turned on. So there are other ports available So here we have console port in this is your power button. Now I can see it properly. You have mini USB port for console connectivity. So this is how we will connect it. Now for the connection, we need another device that we will use to make the connection. So we will take a laptop. So we will take this laptop, install it on the table. So now we will right click on that laptop and we will inspect its front. Again we need to power it on, so we will turn on its power button. Okay, so now it is also on the far left of the laptop. There is a green light now that is on. We have here two ports. We have two RJ45 ports, one for the RS232 connection and one for the fast Ethernet connection. There are two USB ports. You can either use of these to connect to the mini USB port on the 4321 router. Now I will just close it, and now I will connect the router and the laptop using a mini USB cable. Now I will go up to my cable backboard. Here I will click on the USB. So here I have two USB cables. I will take one. So I can also use a right click to inspect it closely, to connect it with the router. So this is my router. I will inspect front to connect this cable. Okay, so as I am bringing it closer, so it is telling me this is a console port. This is here, if you can see. This is the USB console, so it will connect with it. This is very small, so hardly I can see it. So this is the mini USB port on the 4321 router, and on the other side I will connect it with the PC. So again I need the PC's mini USB port to connect it. So we have two USB ports. So now we will use any one of them. Now the laptop and the router are connected through this mini USB cable. So here you can see this cable. Now next step is to configure the Packet Tracer terminal program to establish a console session with this router. So I will click on the PC desktop tab, terminal, and the settings are there. I will check it, and here, would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? No, it will take me to the router prompt. So now here I can see the router in front of me. So now router has completed its startup process, and we have the connection. Packet Tracer terminal program connection, building a console session with this router. Next we will do more exploration for the configuration of the router. We will use some commands for today activity. This is the end. Thank you so much.